Hello, my name is David Fish and I am a lawyer at Workplace Law Partners in Chicago, and today we're going to be talking about Illinois paid leave for workers. The law in this area has changed a lot as Illinois and Chicago and Cook County have wanted to provide workers with more flexibility. And so the purpose of this video is to tell you about your rights as a worker in terms of getting leave, and also if you're an employer, what your obligations are to your employees. So first of all, I want to talk about the Illinois Paid Leave for All Workers Act. This is a law that was passed in 2024, and it allows employees to take time off for any purpose. So a lot of people think that you need to be sick or have another reason. That's not the case. Employees can take mental health days. Employees can take time to be with their families. They have this paid time off, and it needs to accrue at a rate of 1 hour of paid time off for every 40 hours of work. So employers need to have their accounting departments track this leave to make sure that their workers are having this properly accrued. And as an employee, you want to make sure that you are getting your paid time off that should be given to you so that you can use it when you think it's appropriate, and that decision is up to you. You can't be retaliated against if you want to take your leave, or you raise a concern if your employer's not doing this right, and you raise that as a concern and you get fired. You may very well have a cause of action for wrongful termination. So who's covered? It's very broad in terms of who's covered. Most employees are covered, and most employers are going to be covered as well. There are some exceptions that we have in the slide, but for the most part, most people within the state are going to be covered by this law. So if something happens, you can pursue a claim with the Illinois Department of Labor. And it's important that you file that timely. There's a complaint form. We have a link to it in the slide, so you can look over that, and you can file a department with what we call it IDOL, Illinois Department of Labor, and that agency will investigate the claim. Here's an image of what the complaint form looks like. It's very simple to fill out. You just fill it out, and then the Illinois Department of Labor takes it from there. So now I want to talk about the Cook County Paid Leave Ordinance. Cook County covers Chicago and the suburbs around it. It's a very large county. So Cook County has a paid leave ordinance that's similar, provides 1 hour of paid leave for every 40 hours of work for any reason. Employees are entitled to use the leave after 90 days from the time that they commence their employment. And you're not obligated to give any particular type of reason or documentation. And unused leave is supposed to carry over from year to year. Like the state law, it's wrong and illegal for an employer to retaliate against an employee who exercises their rights under this law. So again, who's covered? Most people are covered under the Cook County ordinance, but we have some exceptions. Again, if you have a complaint that you want to file, Cook County allows you to file a complaint, and we have the link to fill out a complaint form in the video below. Here's an example of what you would fill out regarding your complaint with Cook County. And then finally, Chicago has its own paid leave and paid sick and safe leave ordinance. It's under the Chicago Municipal Code, and again, it requires employers to provide a minimum of 40 hours of paid leave during a 12-month period. Leave accrues, 1 hour of paid leave accrues for every 35 hours worked. And again, after 90 days, that's when a new employee can start to use this leave. This is one of the most progressive laws in the country in terms of what Chicago did here, and it allows for sick leave as well. And it's pretty broad in terms of who's covered. If you feel that your rights have been violated, you can file a complaint with the City of Chicago, the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. There's a complaint form. We have a link to it, and you're able to file your complaint and pursue the claim through the Chicago administrative agency that has been set up. Here's an example of the complaint form. So depending on where you work, that's what is going to determine where you are or where the employer is. And it can vary depending on where you are, even within the state of Illinois. So it can be a little bit tricky for employers to follow this, and employees need to know what their rights are so that if they are being violated, then they can take action. Most employers are already giving this leave. There aren't that many employers out there that give no leave and didn't give it. Most of them provided this leave well before this law went into effect. But there are some smaller employers or some employers that are a little stingy that have not provided the leave, and so it does change things for them.